We're here then with our senior academy coach, Jimmy O'Connor. Jim, it's been a very busy few weeks for you. Obviously, you've known about this transition into coaching for a while now. Good to have it formalised, I suppose, but you certainly haven't gotten any quieter, have you?
No, it's like I say, it's been quite a manic few weeks, stroke months, probably the last 12 months really. Slow transition. It's always daunting as a player going into another role, but it's one I've thrown myself into it, and I've tried to take everything I can from it, and I've enjoyed it.
How did you approach that decision? Because obviously a lot of pros have to make that decision in terms of the next step, if you like. You'd begun this pre-season, if you like, firmly part of the playing squad with that intent, but it's just a case of this is the right decision for you now?
Yeah, obviously I'd gone away at the end of last season. Club had made a decision that they wanted me to continue playing, which was absolutely fine. I was obviously contracted to do that, and that was my intention when I came. I probably worked as hard as I've ever done in an off-season, trying to make sure I was right. Came back the first couple of weeks, especially the running, I was absolutely fine, felt really good, and slowly, little niggles, joints, old injuries come back. I think it's one of them. I think that eventually a player's body tells them when they're not going to be able to continue playing. Never nice, but I've been lucky in the fact that I've had a lot more years than a lot of players who have to finish early. So yeah, it's one of them. You throw yourself into the next role as much as you can.
And even if you are being modest, you'd have to say a fairly distinguished career with some good clubs as well, some good memories.
Yeah, I've had some fantastic times at some really good clubs and made some really good friends and good memories. And I'd like to think that I'd be welcomed back by the majority of them. So yeah, obviously I'm a player who's always given my all. So yeah, it's one of them. You move on, you put that behind you. I'm sure when I'm an old man sitting in my chair, hopefully that I'll look back on their memories very fondly.
And when you made that decision earlier this season, how much easier was it made by the fact that you'd had, for instance, the spell with Mark Yates last season? You'd had a smell of the grease paint in terms of that coaching side of things. You knew kind of what you'd be getting into.
Yeah, circumstances obviously threw me into that last year. Probably learned more in that 3 to 6 month spell than I could possibly get off any coaching course or anything like that, as well as I'm obviously doing them. Actually being in it, getting your hands dirty was a great thing for me as a young coach to learn from, and experience will hold me in good stead going forward for the rest of my career.
In terms of your role now, obviously it's busy, it's varied of course, but it's a considerable workload within that academy setup, and I know you're already throwing yourself, as you mentioned at the start there, right into that work, aren't you?
I think you have to. I think it's a big part of this club. Down at the building at Cosy, it's a very lively, energetic place. Obviously a lot of bodies down there. Young kids trying to become footballers, but if not footballers, better people, and it's important that we give them the tools to go on and do that.
And it's providing both sides, isn't it? Just to take that point further, of course we would all like these young boys and girls to succeed as footballers, but it's giving the tools to progress in other areas if need be.
Definitely, I think that's what it's about. I think every young person who comes into that environment, they want to be a footballer, play in the Premier League, play for England. Obviously that's the dream, and so it should be for every young kid. It's good to dream, but at the same time you've got to give them an outlook on that real world, and it's a tough place out there. Teach them about certain things. If you're not hitting deadlines, if you do that in the real world, you're gonna lose your job. If you're not turning up on time, you're gonna lose your job. If you're not talking to people and conversing with people, you're not going to improve as a person. So all these little life skills, it's important that we give them as well, and then make sure that obviously on the grass they're getting the best coaching they can possibly get, and then also in the classroom making sure they're up to speed with their teachers.